Welcome back, guys. Guys, I'm annoyed. I'm going to be talking about something that's been bothering me for a very, very long time. It's Hollywood's obsession with rewrites, sequels, and prequels. It seems like every other movie hitting the theaters is either a rehash of something we've already seen or a continuation of a story that probably should have ended. Let's talk about why this is happening and what it means for the future of cinema. First, let's look at the current state of Hollywood. In recent years, we've seen a massive influx of sequels, prequels, reboots, and remakes. Movies like The Lion King, Aladdin, and Ghostbusters have all been remade. Franchises like Star Wars, Jurassic Park, and Marvel keep expanding. And it's not just the big blockbusters. This trend is going across all genres. So let's talk about Star Wars. I feel like Star Wars should have ended a long time ago. I understand it was a huge commercial success and all generations love each trilogy that came before it. But just like what Kylo Ren said,
"It's time to let old things die."
I feel like this is what Rian Johnson was trying to tell us. I bet he was too tired of these new stories and sequels and prequels or rehashes as well. So let's get creative for a second. Let's just imagine the newest trilogy of Star Wars was something new. Imagine if The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and The Rise of Skywalker were their own original films. Technically, yes, they are original stories, but they are trapped in this bubble of Star Wars. They have to go with the Star Wars theme, and I bet as a screenwriter, that's exhausting. I might have this amazing idea, work so hard on it, making sure it was truly mine, and then the producers and studio heads will read it and say, "Yeah, let's make this into Harry Potter." Like, imagine if the new trilogy was just another name. Just change the name, keeping everything but take away the Star Wars stuff. I bet it would be a pretty badass movie. There would be no complaints. I would hate it if I work on a script and they turn it into Harry Potter and some nerd on the internet is saying,
"Oh, this sucks. This is nothing like the original Harry Potter."
I think that's why Hollywood is struggling so much now. It keeps getting compared to what it once was. Back then, when there were more original movies, there were no sides or new generation or old generation. It was just a good movie. Now let's get into Marvel. Marvel is a tricky one. Marvel was actually the hype of cinema. I grew up on those Marvel movies, so I guess I'm a little biased. Being born in 1998, I was 10 years old when the first Iron Man came out. Yes, I know the movie wasn't technically original, but Hollywood came up with an original way of showing movies, putting all of them in one cinematic universe. This was such a good and dope idea. It made movie theaters a place to watch movies again. Everyone was so happy and excited. Every time a Marvel movie was going to drop, it was like Christmas in July. And you want to know why it worked? It wasn't because it was well written or the world building was fantastic or the actors were casted beautifully. It was truly because it was an original concept, putting all movies together into one. No one in the history of cinema has done that before. I think that's why other studio heads were like, "That's a great idea, let's do that." I'm looking at you, M. Night Shyamalan. Hollywood copied what Marvel did because it made a lot of money and it was a commercial success. But have you noticed how no one cares anymore? Everyone is tired of any kind of cinematic universe or these endless sequels and prequels because it literally worn itself out. I feel like that's why Loki is doing really well, because it kind of pulled itself away from the cinematic universe thing. It was its own original concept. It's like this. Imagine a comedian telling an amazing original joke. You never heard it before, so you're laughing and laughing. The joke is so good, you hear a couple of other comedians say it. You think, "Well, yeah, I heard that before, but yeah, it's still funny." And then another comedian says it, and then another and another. That joke that was so funny and so great is now annoying. So when the original comedian comes back and says that joke again because it was his joke and because he was the original person who wrote it, the audience will already be sick and tired of it. I feel like that's the problem with Marvel now. Everyone already did this, so it turned in on itself and no one cares anymore. And this might be a very unpopular opinion, but I feel like Marvel should have retired after the release of Endgame. But that's just me, and money talks, so of course they're gonna keep going. It makes a bunch of money. Freaking No Way Home made like over $1 billion, so of course they're gonna keep going. And know this is like a side tangent, but speaking of No Way Home, I was kind of tricked just a little bit. I thought that movie was really good. When I first watched it in the theater in opening day, I was so excited. I was going ballistic. But then I rewatched it and I noticed that after a couple of rewatches, it wasn't good. I was tricked with the nostalgia. Of course, I saw Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire and I was like, oh my god, yes, the original Spider-Man. Oh my god. But I was so distracted by nostalgia, it wasn't as good as I remembered. So let's go into the economic factors. Economically, sequels, prequels, and reboots are a safer bet for studios. They come with a built-in audience and a proven track record, which reduces financial risk. In an industry where a single flop can cost hundreds of millions of dollars, playing it safe is often seen as the better option. Moreover, these movies can be cheaper to produce. Studios can reuse sets, CG models, and locations, reducing production costs. However, this focus on safe bets mean less room for original movies and innovative ideas. Filmmakers who want to try something new might not get their projects greenlit. And that's just, I know the film industry is a business, I get it. If you didn't know, it is, it's a business. But I feel like when money and art come together, art just dies. So they just want to reuse everything in order to save a profit. Oh, and that reminds me of freaking live action movies. Don't even get me started on live action movies.
But you're just ruining it. Look at my lips, you're ruining it.
Like seriously, what even is that? Why would you redo a movie? Wasn't it being animated the original thought in mind? Wasn't that the art? Let me use this as an example. It's like me looking at the Mona Lisa and then thinking to myself, yeah, let me just get a model and then let me just paint her up as the Mona Lisa and let me just take a photo of it. Like, would you honestly pay for that? Would you honestly pay for a live action Mona Lisa? And for those of you who already bought a ticket of the Moana live action or the Aladdin live action, you already did. I feel Hollywood is dying. Yes, rewrites, sequels, and prequels can be fun, but they're literally ruining the art of things. I know this is a pipe dream, but I feel they need to stop and go back to the roots. I mean, they did it with Marvel. Do it again. And when I say do it again, I don't mean do Marvel again. I mean do something original again. And I bet Hollywood would be back to how it was. And you want to hear something interesting? Audiences are sending mixed messages. While some people clamor for originality, others flock to the familiar comfort of franchises. This consistency makes it challenging for studios to pivot away from what they know works. It is a weird catch-22 because I am a filmmaker, and I know I've said this in previous videos, and I want to make my own movies, but I just don't want to remake something. I want to be a filmmaker in order to tell new stories. But after doing research, I realized that's not gonna happen. While rewrites, sequels, and prequels can be fun, it's important for Hollywood to balance these with original content. Let's support creativity and innovation in filmmaking. So I'm gonna give the Hollywood Review a grossing 1 out of 10. I didn't know I was doing a review, but I guess if I'm gonna rate it, I'm gonna say it's 1 out of 10. So thank you, bye!